Hello, Steve White, Steve Arts 89. Well, I've been watching the Psycho films recently, and the whole Uncut issue came up for Psycho, which I wasn't really aware of. I bought the 60th anniversary edition of the film on Blu-ray, and I had noticed that there were two versions of Psycho, the uncut and cut version. Now, I didn't know the difference, honestly. I watched the shower scene because I know there was one scene that Hitchcock had removed from the shower scene, showing the body double actress, performer, whatever, who had done some of the shower scene, because there were, I think, 3 people who actually did the shower scene. And it was a photo of her from above, a shot of her from above, where you clearly see her buttocks. And they'd cut that out. And I thought they'd reinserted that, so I watched the shower scene and there was no difference. And I'm like, well, where is the difference? There were only a few seconds difference, and I really wasn't sure what it was. I never had the time to watch the whole film, didn't work it out. When I was watching these films, I forgot about it, and then I noticed the Arbogast murder. Suddenly, it was different. And I thought, okay, well, I need to work this out. So after I watched all the films, I actually found a little video someone put out, and it was before the uncut version had been released, basically petitioning for and asking people to actually email Universal and actually ask them to release the uncut version. And from what I can work out, what happened was they had the original version, and that was trimmed by the censors. Then they put out the theatrical version, and at some point that was edited after that. I think the ratings board changed in the 60s, after 60 when it was released. So it was when it was re-released, they trimmed the film. It probably was already trimmed for TV before that, but the actual theatrical version apparently was trimmed for the re-release. And they cut out, I think, 3 shots and trimmed 2 shots. So I went through, and this video actually showed, because there was an uncut version of the film that was shown in Germany and released on Blu-ray in Germany in 2015, and people were comparing that to the standard film, because Universal had been saying for years that it was the official version, that was the official uncut version, and there was no other version, and people who'd seen the German edition could see the difference and were saying no, there is actually a different version. So, and they did that comparison video, for example. And the main difference is there's the shot where Norman is looking through the peephole at Marion. There's the shot of her taking her, she's wearing the black bra, and then sees, and the next shot is a second shot of her, and this time she's taking the bra off. She stops just short of revealing her breasts, and that was totally cut out. And then the next shot is it's his eye, and then the next shot is her in the robe. So that shot, and I must admit, I gasped when I saw it the first time. I didn't notice it the first time when I watched it, but when I just watched it then, when I was looking at the differences, because I thought she was going to reveal her whole breast for a second. I don't know why, but it just shocked me. Now, the second scene that is altered is when Norman's cleaning up. There's a shot of his hands covered in blood after he drags the body in. There's a shot of him looking down, and then a second shot of his hands before he walks into the bathroom. Those 2 shots are removed. And the shot of him turning on the taps, you see the bloody hands first, and then he turns on the taps, is trimmed to right as he turns the taps on. So that was a difference I wasn't expecting. I mean, the part of the reason why Hitchcock made the film in black and white, aside from being cheaper, because he had to pay for the film himself, because Universal really wasn't fully supporting it, and Paramount wasn't fully supporting it, was so it wouldn't be as gory, because if the blood's not red, it's sort of, not as much of an issue, apparently. Now, the other one is in the Arbogast murder. I didn't notice that when I watched the uncut version. I didn't notice the other trims and the other differences in the scene, shots missing, because I wasn't sitting down and watching the whole film. I was up and doing things sort of in and out of the whole film. But it actually makes it worse. In the version we're used to, which has been shown since 1968 in the cinema re-releases, the video, the Laserdisc, the DVD, the Blu-ray releases, Arbogast falls, he's on his back, Mrs. Bates comes in, and you see the knife come up, down, and you hear him scream, and then it comes down a second time as it fades. In the original cut, you see the knife go up, down, up, down, up, and then down. He screams as it's going down, and then it fades as it comes up again. So there's 4 cuts. So there's 2 extra stab shots, and the time it takes for those 2 stabs, there's just silence, and there's no scream. And I'm like, they really should have kept the scream where it was and had the 2 cuts coming down after he screamed or yelled, because you're sort of expecting the scream and it's not there, and you're like, it just is jarring. So I guess that was how it was originally done, but it works better with the trimmed version, where as soon as he gets stabbed, you hear him scream. So I had to comment on that because I thought it was interesting, and I never realised there was a different cut. I never realised it had been trimmed between the original release and the re-release, because why would I? I wasn't around at the time. But that was the case. And yeah, I also just want to go through both versions, because I was looking through this and trying to work out that, and I was looking through the posters and video covers and all that, and this is the original video version that I found, because I had the I'd seen the sequel first on video. I saw the original film and Psycho 3 on TV, and then I saw the films on video, and this was the first time I saw the original film in a good quality version on video, because they released it on video as part of the Alfred Hitchcock collection. I'd been looking at for years the original release on video of Psycho 2, and they eventually released that on sell-through, which was virtually identical. And the other releases, Psycho 3, the cover was identical basically to the smaller sell-through version. Now, Psycho 4 had a bigger cover, which I don't have, but it was the exact same cover that was released for the video release. And I hear it actually was released in some theatrical version or something, that it was meant to be. There's some confusion about whether it actually got an actual theatrical screening at all. Because apparently Psycho 2 was originally meant to be a HBO film, but then once Anthony Perkins was in the film, the interest was so high, there's so much attention coming from the press, that they actually made it into a theatrical release. And maybe the person was confused about that. He was talking about 4 like it was only supposed to be on HBO and then got theatrical release on somewhere, but maybe limited release, maybe in some sort of fan thing like a Fathom event or something. Then we got to the remake movies, and it did have some nice artwork. Unfortunately, I bought the DVD, and because it was part of the Blu-ray box set, I threw out the DVD and didn't realise that the Blu-ray didn't have the commentary that the DVD has, so now I don't have the commentary for the DVD, so I have to buy it again. So yeah, hold on to all your physical media. I threw out a bunch of DVDs when I bought stuff on Blu-ray, not realising some of them were different, and there'd also be difficulties in getting Blu-ray players in the future, more so than DVD players. Then there's also the Psycho Legacy, which is a fairly cheap but interesting documentary, just a 90-minute documentary and a bunch of extra interviews and a couple little panels and stuff like that, which it falls short of, Never Sleep Again and Crystal Lake Memories, but it's nice that Psycho, along with Friday the 13th and, Halloween and Nightmare on Elm Street, all have their own, documentaries and their DVD releases of them. And the original box set of the films that was released, they were mostly all full frame, and 3 was in a box. So when you watched it on DVD later, it had the black bars on top and on the sides. So fortunately, when they released the US box set of just the 3 sequels, they had the the third and fourth films actually cropped for widescreen. So that was good, because I have multiple versions. I have the full screen version of 2 and 4, because they were done in both widescreen and full frame. They're obviously trimmed for widescreen, and which version is the better one to watch, the one with the full screen or the one where they've actually cropped the top and bottom off, which are always designed to be cropped off? I'm still not sure which. And then of course the Blu-ray version, and that's actually the slip cover that's been trimmed, because it's basically the same as the original one underneath. That also included the horrible TV movie that was supposed to be a TV series, Bates Motel, and it includes Legacy and the Psycho remake, which I bought because I threw out the Psycho remake on DVD because I had the Blu-ray edition. I need to now buy either the single film on its own or the box set of this on DVD, because it'll probably have the original DVD in it instead of them doing a new version, but I'm unclear as to what. I now have to research that. There have been several versions of the film done on DVD, really no difference from the original Blu-ray release, just like the original DVD releases were the same in the Hitchcock collections, which had different films, and also the Hitchcock, the Psycho collection, like the one I just showed you then. Same version, just different packaging. And then of course this one, similar version, different version, similar packaging, most of the same special features, except the earlier one had an episode of Alfred Hitchcock Presents, a very good one. That's the main difference. They also did releases of the Blu-rays in the US, and they had individual packaging in box sets rather than one piece of art on the outside of the box set. So I bought these just for the artwork, knowing they actually wouldn't play on my Blu-ray player here in Australia. And they re-released the actual DVDs with different artwork, the exact same discs including the full frame versions. And then they released the ones that had the special features from the box set, because some of the releases, they'd release a box set from Shout or someone like that, or Screen Factory. They'd have special features, then they'd release a stripped back version here. Sometimes they do the Blu-ray would be the stripped version, but then the DVDs would have the special features. This one I thought that's what it was with 2 and 3, but actually the Blu-ray set ended up having the special features that are included here. And they're on 2 and 3, like I mentioned. And of course, 4 sadly had no special features and a different cover, which I don't like as much as the original version. But so yeah, that just doubled the length of my video. But I just wanted to go through those covers because I love having them, I love looking at them, and I just wanted to share them for anyone who's interested to see what the ones from Australia might have looked like versus the ones that you guys are used to in America. But I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of the different versions of Psycho.